Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new and improved Full of Shit, the show where I show how full of shit I am by pointing out the shit that other people swallow in order to become full of shit themselves. Today I'd like to talk about a couple of things that kind of bother me when it comes to wrestling. Usually I do topical things with it, but we're going to talk about wrestling for once, and I'm going to show how fucking ignorant and stupid and how much I don't know by talking about it. But hey, let's go ahead and just talk about wrestling. Shit that's pissing me off, and the shit that's pissing me off isn't actually anything that happens in the ring, it's the shit that happens outside the ring. The same group of people recently who complain that kayfabe is dead, who complain about the suspension of disbelief being utterly destroyed, continue to kill kayfabe and the suspension of disbelief by bitching and moaning about the product to anybody who will fucking hear it, which, by the way, hurts the business more than any spot you don't like. K, you are advertising that your product, that the product that you are trying to sell sucks. And isn't wrestling all about advertising? Isn't wrestling all about creating your own brand, your own business to build up? So what's with all these veterans shitting on it, which is hurting the business because you have a bunch of smarts who hang on to every fucking word they say, who take it like it's fucking church and believe it, and then they don't want to invest money into new wrestling. Who's hurting the business more? A spot that looks goofy? Or these people who literally have thousands of fans hanging on to their every single word, bitching and moaning? Fuck, man, you're on the show that you're burying. Fuck, I'd get fired if I did that shit. Holy fuck. And this is the same crowd that says protect the business. Protect the business. But they all get on their motherfucking podcast to talk about what they don't fucking like about it. These very prominent figures who have so many people hanging on their every fucking word can't keep it in the back like they want people like, I don't know, me to do. But no, they're going to go on their podcast, which gets fucking thousands upon thousands of listeners, and they're going to bury a product, a new product, by the way, an alternative, something we've been waiting for a long time, just to fucking get off and show how much they know because they're embarrassed to be a part of a fucking show that, I don't know, it's getting ratings? I don't know. But let's go ahead and talk about spots and shit like that, just because it's kind of pissing me off today. And, I haven't had my dick sucked in a few days, so I'm kind of pissed off anyway. So that spot, I think that spot's goofy. I really do. I don't think it makes any psychological sense. And, in any type of storytelling, whether it be TV, movies, books, you have to make psychological sense in order to tell your story coherently to the reader or the observer, to who's ever watching. They need to be able to understand. They need to be able to be picking up what you're throwing down. You hear what I'm saying? Cool. However, that spot pops the crowd. And that was another complaint he got. You're chasing the pop. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, we're chasing the fucking pop. That's how you put butts in the seat. You make the crowd go, wow! Not every single thing on a fucking wrestling show has to be the same thing. One thing that I liked about Nitro in the mid-90s was the fact that you'd have your cool fucking cruiserweights here, you'd have like guys like Regal and shit showing off great wrestling here, and then you had incredible angles like the NWO here. It was a big variety show that came together. Not every single match in AEW has that spot. But AEW does placate a lot to this more athletic style of wrestling, and because it's more athletic, because it's sped up so much, the storytelling is different. But I still think that there is storytelling to it. I just think that, like I said, it's different, and a lot of people that were trained a different way can't really understand it. It seems like instead of more improvisational feeding off the emotions of the crowd, it's more formulaic. And even though it isn't my cup of tea, I completely understand it. You set up formulas for different kinds of matches or whatever. We'll do this, and then we'll do the thing, and then we'll do the thing, and then we'll do the thing. And I get it. I respect it. As a matter of fact, I love watching some of these guys because I can't fucking do what they do athletically, and that is the draw for them. That is the draw for a lot of wrestlers these days. Okay, there's so many old guys that are trying to shit on everything new because it doesn't make sense and it isn't realistic to me and it just fucks up my suspension of disbelief. There's some old asshole in Texas still training people that will not shut up about leg slaps, even though the guy that gave him his fucking wrestling academy is one of the most infamous leg slappers of all time. Fuck's sake. Hear that sweet music now? Anyway, leg slaps, spots like that. Everybody complains that they're not realistic, but nobody gives a shit about a drop down. When was that ever used in a real fight? When have you ever been in a bar when there's two people just boom, 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 and then one guy gets the genius fucking idea to do a drop down? Oh, this'll trip him, and then I'll have the advantage. Ha ha! Psychology. Doesn't work. What about an Irish whip? You fucks have been doing Irish whips for decades, and never once did any of you go, that's not realistic. You'll never see that in a fight. You'll never see a fucking gorilla fucking press in a fight either. 99% of the shit you see in wrestling, you never see in a real fucking fight. So maybe instead of bitching and moaning about that, if you want to see a real fight, if you really want to see a real fight, maybe search out an alternative. But then again, I can kind of understand why you need this real fight atmosphere, because you know what? That's something that audiences don't have. That's something audiences don't get. And that's certainly why they watch wrestling, to see a real fight, because they want to see real anger and real hatred and real pain towards each other, because there is no other alternative on their TVs. Maybe, just maybe, people watch wrestling today because it's murder gymnastics in cool suits. I mean, at least that's the phrase I saw in that comic that's going around. But still, it's a variety show. Okay, even TNA did the same thing. You have the X Division, then you have your angles. AEW's doing that too with their undercard, and then they have their big angles at the top. So what the fuck is the problem? It's a variety show. Wrestling's always supposed to be a fucking variety show. And the fact that these motherfuckers are going out there and saying, this is killing the business, this is killing the business, this is killing the business, when you use your voice to talk to fans, thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands, and you bury this shit, you're killing the business. You're the one that's doing a disservice to wrestling. The rest of these people, why don't you just take them in the back? You said in your quote, I took them in the back and I told them the spot. Cool, why'd you have to talk about it on your podcast? Huh? You're the same old school motherfuckers that don't like anybody saying what happens backstage, even if it's creepy and fucking stupid. But yeah, okay, you can go on your podcast and talk about anything else that happens in the back like it's the worst thing ever to happen to wrestling. I'm just gonna keep going on, and it's gonna turn into drivel. But you guys get my point. You guys get my point, right? This shit is fucking wrestling. It should be allowed to be fucking wrestling. And if you are so caught up on it being not realistic, this isn't realistic, go watch a real fucking fight then. You have options instead of burying a business that you could be helping lift up. Because your public declarations about the death of kayfabe and how this and that sucks and this is killing the business, fans are paying attention to you. Fans are watching you. You're killing kayfabe and you're killing the business more than any fucking flip, goofy spot, or motherfucking leg slap ever could. Enjoy wrestling, or don't fucking watch it. Don't waste your time watching shit you don't like. You have options. Use them. Stop bitching and moaning. Give advice, but stop burying the business publicly. Shitheads.